Welcome to my program Journey to Great Business. My name is Rajiv Jaiswal and I'm a business consultant, and I have put together this program called Journey to Great Business that will provide you tips and systems that you can use in your business to help make it a great business. So today I'm going to talk to you about how we can induct salespeople in a company. The reason for having a good induction program is that we want to make people very quickly productive. So, what is an induction program? An induction program is a process which businesses use to welcome new employees in the company, to prepare them for their new job. It helps them to integrate with the existing people in the company. It provides them an introduction of the working environment, how they are going to work, and who all is going to provide them what all information. So it helps them to start quickly, it helps them to become productive quickly, it helps them to do their job in a much better manner. So if you have a good induction program, it can improve the productivity of your employee, and it can reduce short term turnover. You will see that many times a salesperson comes and after some time he has left and gone. Why? Because he did not understand what he has to do. He felt out of the place in the company. He did not understand the work. There was pressure on him to deliver, but we had not made him comfortable. We had not provided him all the tools which probably we did not realize. So sometimes, and because we are not doing a good induction program, sometimes it takes 5 to 6 months for a salesperson to become productive, and that's a long time for a company. And also, what happens, we lose 50 to 60% people to attrition because they don't understand the work and they don't feel comfortable, so they leave. Now, it's the company's responsibility. Many people think it is the employee's responsibility to become productive. He must ask the questions, he must find out what he needs to know, he must ask. If he can't understand, find out. But that's not the case. It is the company's responsibility to make the sales product person more productive, because it is the company that knows most about its products, its selling system, and how they deal with their customers. They have to work, the company has to work towards retaining a person, to make him feel that yes, this is a good place for you to work, because as much as the employee needs the company also needs the employee. Now, the duration of the training program, the induction program, vary from company to company. Some have it for 1 month, some have it for 6 months. So it depends from company to company. But primarily, it can be divided into two parts. One is the initial part, when the person just joins and is absolutely new to the company, and this process is usually controlled by the human resources department or the training department. They keep him, there is a fixed schedule for him during that time, and it's more tightly. Once he's past that part, then there is more related to on the job training, which can usually vary between 1 to few months, and it's under the functional supervisor or the head of sales or a CEO, business owner, whoever is he is directly reporting to. So, what are the things that we have to do in an induction process? There are 6 things. We have to transfer knowledge, we have to define expectation, we have to train them, we have to repeatedly reinforce whatever we have trained, and we have to have ongoing review, and finally peer to peer coaching. So, let's understand each of them in detail. When the person joins, he must understand कंपनी क्या है, कंपनी की हिस्ट्री क्या है, कंपनी कितने साल से है, what are the products of the company, what is the process of the company, how do we get the work done, if I receive an order, how do I process it, if I have to send a quotation, what should I do, if I need a price of something, or if I need a discount for something, where do I go. He also has to understand what are the human resource policies, what are his entitlements, how much leave can he take, what time he has to come to office, what time till what time does he have to work in the office, etc., etc. So all the human resource policies have to be explained to him in the initial part of his induction program. He also has to understand the product that he's going to sell. So what is the product, how are we different from competitors, right? How do we pitch our business? All these things which the company has been doing for a long time, we have to explain to him. We should not expect that because he's coming from another company, he will bring some good methods and he will find some great ways to do things in our company. And so let it be up to him. He can follow his process. That does not work. That only leads to inefficiency, because he will work in one manner and the company will work in another manner, and there will be obviously some discord between the two processes. And in some cases, in some companies, there is a visit to the factory also to see and understand how we are making the product, so that it gives the person a new mental picture about what the company is making. And finally, and most importantly, he has to have a meeting with his immediate boss, and so that he knows whom he's going to work with and begins to understand that process. Once the knowledge has been, once we have done that, we need to define expectations. Now, every job, for every job, for every employee, the company has some expectations. We expect कि इतनी सेल करेगा, इतना इतना नए क्लाइंट्स को लेकर आएगा, इतने नए टेरिटरीज को खोलेगा, राइट? बट unless we tell the employee, how will he know? We cannot leave it open ended for him to, and for us to see कि अच्छा, अगर अच्छा काम करेगा तो मैं और काम दे दूंगा, और अच्छा काम नहीं करेगा तो कुछ काम हटा लूंगा. That's not how it's going to work. So we have to explain to him what he has to do, what is the reporting system in the company, what kind of reports that he has to actually submit, whether it's weekly, whether it is monthly, whether it is daily, what are the reports that he has to submit. So we have to tell him all that part. In addition, his KRAs, that is his key result areas, what is he going to be measured on? Is it going to be only sales, or is it going to be sales plus collection, or is it going to be sales plus collection plus new clients generated? Whatever we want to put as his key result areas, we must put it down to him and tell him this is what we expect from you, so that if he has any questions, so that if he has any doubts, they should get clarified right in the beginning. And it's always good, because a person who's beginning to work wants to know what am I supposed to do, wants to know how am I going to be measured, so that he can work on those lines. And this also helps the person work in the direction of what the company wants him to do. Then we have to train them. We have to train them for all the competencies that we want. Now, every job requires certain competencies, right? Certain things, like for example, if you're a salesperson, you need the ability to talk, you need the ability to listen, you need the ability to discuss, you need the ability to prospect. There are many competencies that everybody needs. So we should understand, and every salesperson does not have all the competencies. So it is the company's responsibility to evaluate what this person's new induction person's competencies are. They have to be rated. They should ideally be rated on a scale of 1 to 5, and to see which competencies he is good in and in which competencies he is not good in. Now, there are some competencies which are critical. Like for example, the ability to prospect is a very critical competency. If that rating in the if his rating in that competency is low, then definitely we need to provide him some training in that. So we need to allocate importance to the competencies, and we need to create a sheet like this, where on the left side you can see all the competencies, right? You describe what the competencies are, so that you know what exactly you want from him, and then you assess him on his competencies. So like here in the prospecting competencies, his rating is only 1, which is one of the important competencies, but the priority for that competency is number 1, right? So when we make a training program, we have to see, number one, the rating, the priority of the training, and also his score. How does he do? So let's say, for example, if you see the time management part, he has a assessment of 4. That means he is very good in his time management, but that rating is number 2. So for us, what is more important? The priority of the training is more important, and we need to create a training schedule. So based on this training schedule, based on his priorities, based on his competencies, we start with the highest priority program. What is the competency that has the highest proper priority and in which he is not good? We start with the training program for that, and we conduct it, and we make sure that he picks up that training, that competency. and we build in the training program a review and assessment schedule so that we know how to make sure that when we have delivered the training, this person has actually become competent in that particular area or not, in that particular competency or not. So trainings are like rubber bands. You pull the rubber band, it stretches, and you leave it, it goes back to its original shape. So in the same way, any competency that we teach is not going to become uh, a part of the person's DNA. So we need to go back and we need to retest, we need to re-look at the person, whether the person has been able to pick up the training, whether the person has been able to pick up that competency or not. If the person has not picked up the competency, we need to train again. Now these are not happening in the initial 1 month or the initial part of it, but these are built in into this into our training schedule, which could happen over the next few months, so that the person's competencies become just what we need and he is able to do the work. Once that has been done, then there is ongoing coaching. Now ongoing coaching is more like an on the job work. So he starts going out with his peer people, with his boss, with his colleagues, or with somebody, or he even makes independent calls. And when he goes a part of the independent call, he goes and does some work, and which he comes back and there is a review. So you teach him what he is not doing right, let him go out and do those things, come back, review them, and make sure that the work that he is doing is as per the guidelines that have been set for him, or as per what you want him to do. And these can happen over the next few months, because this is actually going to be the practical and on the job training that he has to pick up. Once he has picked up and he's gone with his boss and he's been done with the training department, there is something peer to peer. Peer to peer means at my own level with my own colleagues, I can find out if I need some information, if I need to understand something. We should encourage peer to peer learning, because then I don't have to go to my boss or to my trainer or to somebody else in the organization to find out what I need to do. I can very easily pick up with somebody who's in my team. It not only is easy way to find information, easy way to find good practices, but it also helps in team bonding. So peer to peer learning is also a very important thing. So thank you for listening to me, and it's been and my program Journey to Great Business is going to continue with many more videos on practical things that you can do in your organizations. And if you like my video, you can subscribe to it, you can press the bell icon, so that when I put up a new video, you can get notified, and obviously put some comments in the chat box so that I can respond to you. Thank you for listening.